Hey everybody, it's well, another great night to show off some cards. As you can probably tell from the title, I wanted to do just a video. I love the cards with I love multiplayer cards, especially if they show multiple either Hall of Famers or just players that I like. Even when I was a kid, I didn't understand um, why cards with multiple players that I was excited about wasn't worth, twice as much as cards that of just one player that I liked. And well, I'm going to show you some of those. So I'm going to do multi-sport. I don't do much multi-sport. I certainly don't collect much other than baseball these days, but I'm going to show some football, some basketball, but mostly baseball. On this one, I'll start with football because that will take the least amount of time. This is Bobby Brister and Dwight Stone. I don't know if they just don't do as many combo cards in football, or if I just don't have enough football cards to have many. That's probably the case. This one's kind of funny because this is Bobby Brister and Dwight Stone for the Steelers, 90 plus club. And if you look on the back, see if we can get it zoomed in enough. Bobby threw 4 touchdown passes and leading the Steelers to a 34-17 win over the Broncos in Week 6, but his longest pass of the game, a 90-yarder to Dwight, did not score a touchdown or lead to a score. So I do not remember that game. I have to imagine it was very frustrating to have a 90-yard pass and then have it not end up even getting a field goal out of it. That must have ended in a turnover or something. My other one I'm cheating in because I don't really have anything else. That's actually the only one I have that's officially 2 players. This one's just fun because it gives me an excuse to show the player who's probably my favorite player of all time. That's Troy Polamalu, and that is him tackling Cedric Benson. I can assure you I saw him do that many times. Troy is he is my favorite player of all time. I loved the way he played the game with a lot of intensity, but more importantly, I think for him, for his style of play, he played with an intelligence. I always felt like if Troy was on the field, then the Steelers had the smartest guy playing, and that was just always fun. So that's really all I have for football. So if you came here for football cards, you were going to be disappointed. But basketball, this was more my thing. Growing up, when I got into my teenage years, I was a big basketball fan. And this was one of the cards that I've had. I actually had a couple of these. I think I gave one of them to one of my boys, but it's Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Uh, well, I lived in Illinois for about 6 years growing up, and that was my team. And so I loved that duo. I couldn't understand why that card wasn't worth more. You want some more Michael Jordan love? How about Michael Jordan with Magic Johnson? Another great one. Another card that's not worth as much as if you just get a Michael Jordan card. Again, I don't understand, but there it is. Another great combo card. And if you like Magic Johnson, how about his true rival, Larry Bird? And that is with the anniversary gold medallion for the NBA hoops. What a great card. Magic and Bird. Love this card. I love the fact that these two were such massive competitors when they played, but still great friends. I don't know about early on, but certainly as the years went by. How about some more combo cards? Well, you might be wondering if that's a combo, where's the other one? But if you collected basketball cards in the 90s, you probably know why this is a combo card. They're in these all-star cards in the Fleer set. This is 95, 96. They would put the East on one side and flip it over, and you get the West on the other side. So that's Scottie Pippen, who was my guy, and Sean Kemp on the other side. Now here's the problem. If you are a fan of binder collecting, do you put that with your Scottie Pippens or your Sean Kemps? Well, I put it with my Scottie Pippens because I was a Pippen fan, but if you had 2 of them, I guess you were all right. Reggie Miller for the East. And on the West, Latrell Sprewell. Man, I have a ton of Latrell Sprewell cards. Not as many as Pippin's, but... And the nice thing they did it with their positions, you know? So this is Shaq for the Eastern. Flip it over on the Western, you have... Well, let's see if I can get it to come in there. Doesn't want to come in. There we go. Hakeem Olajuwon. I do not have all the cards in this set, but... Those are favorite. Just one more of these, and then I'll switch over to the sport we care about a little bit more. Most of us, I think. Patrick Ewing. I'm going to just drop that card. On the other side, the Admiral himself, David Robinson. Those were fun cards. Again, those were cards I didn't understand why they weren't worth more than any of the solo players. The only one of these that has any actual value is probably the card that just fell over, and that's only because it's the gold medallion. And when I say value, I mean that card as it is, raw. I could probably sell that one on eBay for a cool $5 if I tried real hard. Well, let's switch over to baseball. Of course, we all know about the leaders cards. These are fun. Rod Carew and Dave Parker. I love these cards, and it doesn't matter what year. These are just fantastic cards. I love all the different combos, whether it was batting or pitching. This is one of the great ones here, isn't it? I mean, 3 different Hall of Famers there. Nolan Ryan, Steve Carlton, Tom Seaver. Look at all those strikeouts. Of course, Nolan Ryan, well, he doesn't take second fiddle to Steve Carlton any longer, or to anybody else for that matter. Another pitching one. Fergie Jenkins, who I highlighted on my last video. Steve Carlton, Hal Downing, and Tom Seaver. 3 Hall of Famers on that one as well. Just a great... I just like these cards. Of course, batting leaders. We can go back to batting for a little bit. Got some Clemente there. Rico Cardi, and then Henry Aaron on the bottom. Card's in a bit rough shape, but hey, it's a great card. Not necessarily just Hall of Famers, though. We got Wade Boggs on this one, who is a Hall of Famer. On the other side, Bill Madlock for the Pirates. I like those hats. Of course, he's wearing the same one as Parker is in that one. It's a nice card. I think I've shown this one before. This is team players. Two guys for the Reds, Tom Seaver and Johnny Bench. Another good one. I mean, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch right there. Go with some Jose Canseco, Jim Rice, and Kirby Puckett. You know, if you'd have told me growing up that Canseco wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, I don't know that I would have believed you. I've got some with Henderson on it, Ricky Henderson and Dave Winfield. Pitcher's Nightmare. Of course, they got to play together for a little while in an experiment by the Yankees that quite frankly failed. How about some more Henderson? This one's Henderson and Canseco. When you think that Henderson's not a small guy. Considered playing football. He was quite a good football player in high school. His mom talked him into playing baseball instead. Said he'd have a longer career. He wouldn't risk getting injured so much. And he took her advice. Played baseball. This was one of my favorites. This is a series of cards. I have at least 1 or 2 more of these Idols cards. But what this is Ken Griffey talking about his idol. And Ken Griffey's idol was Ricky Henderson. If you know about that, you'll know that Willie Mays wore 24. Ricky Henderson idolized Mays, also wore 24. Griffey idolized Ricky Henderson and wore 24. That's kind of a neat thing if you want some more Griffey. How about this one? Griffey and Babe Ruth. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure that's not an actual picture. Babe Ruth and Ken Griffey Jr. Babe and Father Time. It's another fun one. Put that one. Willie Stargell and Pete Rose. Superstar Specials. The Fountain of Youth. Guess they thought they'd play forever. Of course, Pete Rose played for a few more years after that, didn't he? That's good. Speaking of Pete Rose, how about Pete and some Dwight Gooden? Charlie Hustle and Dr. K. I like that anyway. With the nicknames. I'm not sure what's going on with Pete Rose's smile there. Kind of a goofy looking smile if you ask me, but it's alright. I should have shown this one when I showed my Griffey. I'm not sure this one counts either. How about Ken Griffey and Yosemite Sam? And I think that may be Pepe Le Pew at the bottom there. Ken Griffey Jr., that's my man. This was a card from the Looney Tunes Upper Deck set. Kind of a funny little set. Here's two of the all-times. Reggie Jackson eclipses Mantle's home run record. 86 Donruss. It's pretty incredible. Reggie Jackson's home run. Put him in the 6th all-time list. Jackson connected for his historic blast. Gave the Angels a 2-0 lead. It is perhaps the greatest honor and tribute to me to be in the same company as Mickey Mantle, who was my idol as a kid. He pushed Mickey Mantle into the 6th. Passed Mickey Mantle's home run record. This is a newer card. Ichiro, Mauer, and Guerrero. Got two Hall of Famers there. Just a couple more and I'll end this video. You've had enough combo cards, right? Sammy Sosa, Todd Helton, Barry Bonds. Kind of hard to get that one. Well, there's a little better. It's gold, you know, on those edges. Pretty shiny. Nice looking card. Shows on the back the National League runs scored. And I'll end with this one. My team is the Pirates, and when I started looking into getting some Clementes, one of the things I looked for, I actually kind of stumbled on something by accident, but then I started doing a hunt, was for anything that had my favorite all-time Pirate and my favorite current Pittsburgh Pirate. It's kind of a fun card. Roberto Clemente and Andrew McCutchen. I have a couple different cards with them, the two of them on it, but just a fun card. Time-spanning tandems. Fittingly, McCutchen is a former winner of the Roberto Clemente Award, a prestigious honor that annually goes to a player who shows sportsmanship and contributes to his community on and off the field. You want to get a Pirate fan a little heated. You can talk about ownership, but then talk about Andrew McCutchen getting traded, then letting him go a few years back. Whew. Anyway, guys, I just was been enjoying some videos, a bunch of different people posting today, and thought I should get back here and do one on my own. Just enjoying kind of the variety, and I like like I've said, I really enjoy the multiplayer cards. I'll just leave you with a few of my favorites, and then we'll close this out. But you got some, you can share some of your own, make your own video if you'd like. But a lot of people show these, and they show them with other players. Like if you're doing a player run, a lot of times you'll have a player run with different players, and that's always my favorite part, when they get to players with where they're sharing a card with somebody else. Not necessarily the rookie cards. I don't love the rookie cards that share necessarily, but the leaders, these kinds of things, I really enjoy them. So anyway, I don't need to ramble on. Just thanks a lot if you've made it this far. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you again down the road.